And as far as them sitting where they're sitting, and all of a sudden, one of these top quarterbacks start to not necessarily slip, but the run doesn't go as anticipated, and they're sitting there and they're eyeballing one of them, they won't be the only team, though. There's going to be other teams that say, hey, what do you want to do, Atlanta? What do you want to do, Cincinnati? We'd love to get into that spot. They should make a run at going and get one of those quarterbacks to secure the future, because clearly, if you got Teddy Bridgewater, you are already saying to yourself, yes, you say competition, but you already know that he's better than Drew Lock. You already done, essentially in your mind, push Drew Lock to number 2. And if you're pushing him to number 2 and you draft a guy, you're not drafting that quarterback to come and replace Teddy right now. You're drafting that quarterback to learn behind Teddy.
Right.
And now Drew Lock gets pushed basically to 3.
So you're saying Teddy Bridgewater is just buying you time. He's become a bridge quarterback in his career pretty much.
And man, Teddy Bridgewater is good.
Yes.
Teddy Bridgewater is not a bad quarterback. He has this stuff that's on him that is all of a sudden like it's this weird feeling like he's a bad quarterback. But he's not. He is a guy, if you had, and Dan said it. Dan said, hey, they're a playoff caliber team with Teddy Bridgewater. If you took Teddy Bridgewater and you put him on the San Francisco 49ers, who I think, when fully healthy, is a Super Bowl contending team, Teddy Bridgewater would be a Super Bowl quarterback. If you took him and you plugged him into 22 or 21 other guys on the team that were Super Bowl caliber players, Teddy Bridgewater will plug in and you wouldn't miss a beat.
And they had countless games where they were just within, 4 or 5 points that they could have won. That could have been a
without Christian McCaffrey.
Exactly. That could have been a completely different season. On the flip side, for the Panthers, I would say this too. I know you have Sam Darnold. I know he's there. But I will also look for them to draft. If you can get a guy like Justin Fields, I would do it too. Sam Darnold was supposed to be the savior of New York.
There?
Exactly.
Right. That's really what it's about.
Sam Darnold was supposed.
I wouldn't do that.
But why? Sam Darnold. What if Sam Darnold doesn't pan out?
I know.
If you're Carolina.
I know, but I just wouldn't. You're going to pick up his 5th-year option. I don't even know. I got to figure out the 5th-year option numbers because
they're different.
They're so
player.
different, right? Baker Mayfield is like $18.5 million, and then Lamar Jackson is like $20+ million. So I don't know how that works out. But you're picking up Sam's 5th-year option. You traded Sam. You essentially gave up, even though you gave up a handful of picks. When you put those handful of picks together, that's essentially a first-round pick because the New York Jets could take those 3 picks, package them up, and probably slide back into the late first round if that's something they wanted to do. Now you're telling me you should draft a quarterback that's sitting there when you just traded for a young one that's 24 years old. I think that's his age.
Sam's 5th year, I believe, is 18.8.
Okay, so
is that what I'm reading here?
I don't understand how they get the calculations on that.
Well, it's the same as Baker's. Baker's is the 18.8 also.
Yeah, but Lamar's is higher.
I'm looking at it.
Let me
ask you a question. What if you can't fix Sam? So doesn't it make sense to have somebody?
But I don't know if I could fix Sam to actually get him in, in the books and
understood. But
underneath
if it's about drafting best available talent, if Justin Fields is there and you like Justin Fields,
but what do I do if I fix Sam? Like, what if Sam takes them and win the division? They go.
Oh, I mean, this goes back to our same conversation we were having about Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady. I mean, look, injuries happen, things happen within the game.
Yeah, but I got a backup quarterback that I'm guaranteeing $30 million to, fully guaranteeing $30 million to. Like, what do I do? You got to remember, it's a numbers game too. So what do I do with a Trey Lance or Justin Fields sitting on my books at $30 million when I got another quarterback that just led us to whatever, a division title, playoffs that shows promise? Like, what do I do now? Do I eventually move Sam and trade him again? I mean, I guess you can do that. I mean, I guess you could trade Sam again after the season. After he shows you he's the guy, you can say, okay, we're going to now trade him for a first-round pick to somebody.
When if he shows you he's not the guy? When if he doesn't pan out?
Well, they have a decision to make on the 5th year.
I'm not the damn gentleman.
I know, but I'm talking to you
because some research for to find out why there's a difference in the numbers.
So there's 4 categories based on the 5th-year option. One is basic, the other's playing time, then 1 Pro Bowl, and then more than 1 Pro Bowl. So because Lamar Jackson went to a Pro Bowl, he's at a higher number, $23.1 million. Sam and Baker have basically the same amount of playing time over their time, so they are at the same number.
Got it. That's interesting that I didn't.
Sliding scale based on all the different performance bonus. Yeah, no, it is.